assassin, Kelsey Mitchell.
Every game is a home game. Listen to the crowd in Connecticut. Final score in overtime. Fever 99, Sun 93. And Indiana completes the greatest comeback in franchise history.
It appears you're quitting again just because your team not good. Just like rookie year, once you realize you stood no chance to win rookie of the year, you quit. You're quitting unrivaled. It looked like it was happening again. But look what we have here. Look what we have here. Angel Reese has been found. She has surfaced.
Chicago rolled out the red carpet like it was championship night. Promotions blasted "Welcome Back Barbie" in bold pink letters. Social posts painted Angel Reese as the savior of the season. And fans were told this return would change everything. But when the lights hit and the game tipped off, reality hit even harder. Chicago dropped its 5th straight loss, now sitting at 8-26 and sinking fast in the standings. The clip everybody passed around after the game, not her jumper, not her hustle, it was her getting swatted in prime time for the world to see. That single play summed up the whole night. Reese had 19 points, 7 boards, and 4 assists, but critics called it empty stats. The so-called superstar left the team drowning during their roughest stretch, then came back talking about self-growth like nothing happened.
Double-double for Aaliyah Boston. Boston will fire a 3. It's in. Goes to the putback. Plus the foul.
Oh, look at Boston just muscle her way into Charles and lay it in. Boston deep position. Boston pretty spin. Back to Boston. Who ties the game? Boston now with her 15th double-double of the year. That's a new Fever franchise record.
Fans didn't hear humility. They heard someone disconnected from the grind, someone who had mentally checked out while the rest of the squad fought to survive. Chicago's entire marketing machine turned her return into a circus. Welcome Back Barbie plastered everywhere, hyping Game 35 against Seattle like it was a rescue mission. But once the action started, the gap between flashy presentation and real performance got exposed quick. Reese framed her absence as a time of reflection. I learned a lot about myself. But with the team spiraling, critics blasted those words as tone deaf. They didn't hear growth, they heard excuses. And that leaves one brutal question hanging. Is Angel Reese really built to help Chicago win, or is this whole show just smoke and mirrors? That's why this comeback wasn't just about numbers. It was about credibility. Could Angel Reese still sell herself as the centerpiece of Chicago's future?
Back! Bang! Hexagon, polygon, octagon, it don't matter. Turn it out for pecan, butter pecan. Bang!
Rebound. Burn! Hasn't played in 3 weeks. Maybe her legs are fresh. She can jump higher.
No! Burn!
She's played in 24 games this year. She's been blocked 48 times. According to my advanced analytics, she's getting 2 bang-bangs per game.
Or was it all smoke? The game gave a brutal answer. That block by Imani McGee Stafford, later reposted gleefully by Seattle's social team, instantly became the viral frame of the night. What was meant to crown Reese's big return instead turned into a clip used to clown her. Reese did what she always does, barking after routine plays, hyping up moments that weren't game changers. But every missed shot, every empty gesture made the barking sting even worse. The staged savior act couldn't mask the truth. The encore didn't live up to the promo. Sure, the box score says 19 points, but fans don't remember the box score. They remember the memes. Within hours, her supposed redemption night flipped on its head. Twitter flooded with the block clip, trending not for her comeback, but for her embarrassment. What was sold as the game to flip Chicago's season turned into a reminder of how far the sky had fallen.
Missed you, Angel. You're back. You're roaring back, and I'm sure you came back and led the Chicago Sky to victory. Okay. No? Okay. It's been a while, and I'm sure you came back to a sellout crowd that could not wait to see you.
The final score, 94-88, another tough loss. Close enough to sting, but damaging enough to stretch their skid to 5 straight and bury their playoff chances even deeper. That erased whatever glow her 19 points had brought. Chicago's entire marketing machine told fans this was the return of a winner. Instead, it looked like a performance wrapped in glitz but stripped of results. The franchise didn't just spotlight Angel Reese, they built the night around her like she was the missing piece to a title run. And when the smoke cleared, all that hype left fans asking the harshest question: is this really the star Chicago was banking its future on? Chicago's gamble on Angel Reese wasn't just about drafting a flashy rookie. It was a full franchise bet. They branded her as the savior, the one who could walk in and flip a struggling team's entire future. Every offseason move, every headline, every soundbite screamed the same thing. This was Angel's team. Bold on paper? Sure. But in reality, the results have been nowhere near convincing. The so-called win now offseason exposed it all.
And you're still top 4 in the league in total turnovers.
I said swiper, no swiping! Bang! I know you're a better bowler than you are a basketball player, but I thought we were going to save that bowling pass till next year. Bang! You want some maple syrup with that pancake? Bang! Like Mr. SquarePants once said, you know what's funnier than 24? How about an 8-26 record?
Instead of patiently building around a young core, Chicago mortgaged the future for quick fixes. The loudest move? Shipping the 2025 number. 3-pick Sonia Citron to Washington. And guess what? Citron is thriving. She's steady, versatile, winning fans over every night and already making a serious case for Rookie of the Year. That's the kind of player Chicago could have built around, and they let her go. In return, the Sky brought in veteran Ariel Atkins, a tough guard, proven scorer, and defender. The logic sounded fine. Give Reese the forward spot, surround her with vets, and make a playoff push. On paper, it looked like a formula. On the floor, it's been chaos. Citron is blossoming in D.C., flashing legit star potential, while Chicago is buried in the standings. Atkins has been solid, no shade, but she's not the type to drag a franchise out of the basement on her own. And if the front office truly believed Angel Reese was the missing piece to turn heartbreak losses into clutch wins, the standings have already exposed that myth. 8 wins, 26 losses, one of the worst records in the entire league. That's the cold reality of Chicago's gamble, a bet that their Barbie savior could transform the Sky overnight. Instead,
Kelsey Mitchell has a new career high. Backdoor Mitchell bouncing in the paint for 2. Kelsey Mitchell, the big is matched up. Mitchell squeezing through for 2 at the foul. Fouls on the other end. It's Mitchell launching.
Fans are left asking if the team sacrificed a future star for a marketing campaign that blew up in their face. By the time Chicago's playoff hopes flatlined, the glossy Reese the winner storyline was already starting to crumble. Marketed as the young star with a championship mindset, the truth is simple. She still hasn't led a single WNBA team into the postseason. Critics don't let that slide. And every time the hype gets repeated, they hit back with the receipts. On paper, her stats pop, around 14 points and 12 rebounds a night. But here's the catch. Those numbers haven't translated into wins. The Sky keeps sinking, and the gap between individual shine and team success just keeps growing louder. Worse, during stretches when Reese sat out, Chicago sometimes looked more balanced, sharper, even more competitive. Now, nobody's saying she's single-handedly dragging the team down. It's clearly a roster problem, but perception is reality in sports, and the perception is brutal. And that leads to the uncomfortable question hanging over the season.
Need Angel Reese so we can win, win, win. Win? Since when has Angel Reese contributed to winning? The Chicago Bravado were routinely getting their ass kicked when she was healthy. Outside of the female Suns from Connecticut who seem to be losing intentionally, the Chicago Bravado are the worst team.
What really happened when Angel Reese disappeared for nearly a month in the middle of Chicago's collapse? The official line was a back issue. Coach Tyler Marsh even dodged, saying, if Angel didn't say that's her story to tell. Reese herself brushed it off as a chance to learn a lot about myself. Supporters framed it as a reset, but critics called it an escape. The facts are undeniable. Her last game before the break was July 29th against Washington. She didn't reappear until August 19th. That's 7 full games gone while the Sky were barely hanging on to playoff life. And when the supposed face of the franchise vanishes during the most desperate stretch of the season, fans can't help but wonder, was it really about her back or was it about something much deeper? The timing couldn't have been worse. Chicago was spiraling. Every missed start felt like another nail in the coffin. And then suddenly Angel Reese reappeared. On paper, she was on a 25-minute restriction, yet still logged 26 minutes, dropping 19 points on 9 of 13 shooting, pulling 7 boards, and dishing 4 assists.
1,724 fans showed up to the Wintrust Arena. Yeah, it holds about 9,500 fans, so we're talking roughly 3,000 fans away from being sold out, to see the return of Angel Reese and the defeat of the Chicago Sky against the...
Those aren't the numbers of someone creeping back from a serious setback. That's the production of someone who looked just fine. And that's exactly why fans struggled to buy the story. Normally, when a franchise player goes down, there's a trail, rehab clips, practice footage, updates from the bench. With Reese, nothing. No sideline presence, no rehab buzz, nothing but silence. Chicago clammed up, and the blackout just poured gasoline on the speculation. Commentators split into camps, some flat out calling it quitting or pump faking, others defending it as a legit injury paired with a mental reset. But both sides agreed on one thing. The Sky's silence let controversy grow unchecked. Then came the words that made it worse. Reese told reporters, "Happy to be back playing the game I love. I learned a lot about myself."
That's right, last night, the triumphant return of the product herself, Angel Reese, finally made her way back to the court. Funny, a lot of questions going on out there around Angel the last month or so. Like, what in the bleep is going on? Exactly, why aren't you playing in games? We heard it was a back injury.
That wasn't the typical athlete post-injury talk. No mention of therapy, no rehab milestones, no treatment details, just vague lines that sounded more like a motivational poster than a comeback statement. And because the Sky were already crumbling, that vagueness became ammo for critics. Fans didn't hear resilience, they heard excuses. To make it sting more, Chicago's record barely budged without her. They didn't suddenly rise, but they didn't completely fall apart either. And that reality left people asking the harshest question. Was Angel Reese truly hurt, or was she just absent when her team needed her most? That silence gave critics exactly what they needed. Maybe Chicago wasn't any worse without Angel Reese. Maybe her absence wasn't even the deciding factor at all. Supporters tried to defend her, but skeptics fired back. Her impact just doesn't match the superstar billing. So when Reese finally came back, complete with banners, posts, and a hyped-up Savior's return, the story had already shifted. It wasn't about whether she'd lift the Sky. It was about whether her month-long vanishing act had exposed the real problem behind their unraveling season. And that contrast only gets louder when you stack Chicago's chaos next to Indiana's fight.
So happy to be back, playing the game that I love. All right. So here we go, right here. This is Angel. She's going to be going down the court. Again, she's much improved from the field. She's made so much headway. Yeah. Okay. God, it's good to have Angel back. It really is. My goodness. How about right here? Angel Reese is the most blocked player in the WNBA, and believe it or not,
The Fever have had injuries too. But instead of crumbling, they've leaned into their foundation, competing every night, showing fans real progress. Not perfect, but moving forward with a clear identity instead of hiding behind marketing campaigns. At the center of it all is Caitlin Clark, and she's proving to be everything Reese was sold as, and more. Clark isn't just racking up stats, she's making Indiana must-see TV. Reporters point out how her presence spikes attendance, how every stop turns into an event. Fans don't just come for highlights. They leave believing in the team. Even when she's hurt, people still buy tickets just to see her on the sidelines. That's the power of showing up, being the emotional core, the heartbeat, the leader that fans trust to ride with no matter what. And that's the brutal difference. Reese disappeared for a month, barely seen with her team while they were drowning. Clark?
She had not finished any season. Her rookie year with the Sky, she tapped out. She did not finish with Unrivaled. She tapped out, didn't even show up to the playoff games. And then this season, post All-Star break, it seemed like that is all she cared about. She realized this team stinks. Tyler Marsh is a bum. Jeff P's a bum.
Even when she can't play, she's still there, still part of the fight. One feels like the face of a franchise. The other feels like a billboard that's already peeling. But let's be clear, Indiana isn't just the Caitlin Clark show. Aaliyah Boston is still that steady anchor in the paint, a nightly force you can depend on. Around her, Lexi Hull grinds with defense and hustle. Kelsey Mitchell drops buckets as a consistent scorer who can flat out take over. And Sophie Cunningham brings toughness and spacing, doing the gritty, unglamorous work that real winning teams are built on. Together, they've built a lineup rooted in balance and accountability, the kind that doesn't crumble when pressure spikes. And the results prove it. Indiana has shown they can grind out wins even while shorthanded. Just look at that overtime thriller that had national outlets buzzing when Mitchell exploded for 38 points.
And no regrets for the rookie Sonia Citron with a magical move for the Mystics. She's fierce. Ooh. Citron. Citron, the back cut. Nice drop off the area. Fan gets the bucket. Nice dime right there in front of the rim.
That's the type of moment that makes fans believe this squad knows how to fight through adversity instead of folding under it. And you can feel that energy in the air. Fever games don't just pack seats, they feel electric. Commentators rave about the buzz, and national broadcasts are circling Indiana like they're the league's new ratings magnet. Now stack that against Chicago's so-called Welcome Back Barbie Night, just 6,700 fans in a building that holds nearly 10,000.
Court, the only thing you're winning is the #1 pick in the draft. Ironically enough, if the Chicago Bravado get the #1 pick in the draft this year, they don't even get to keep it. It belongs to the Minnesota Linkers. So not only are you stuck with Angel Reese, you also don't have a draft pick so you can select a player that actually...
For all the pink banners, slogans, and promo hype, it didn't feel like the coronation the franchise wanted. It felt forced. Indiana doesn't need gimmicks. Their energy is organic, born from what happens on the floor. And that matters, because as a fan, backing the Fever feels like buying into real progress. Supporting Clark and her squad isn't about empty slogans or smoke. It's about believing in a team that actually delivers when the lights come on. And that's the sharpest contrast staring the league in the face. Chicago went all in on a glossy billboard, selling Angel Reese as the savior who dragged them out of irrelevance. But when the smoke cleared, the record was ugly, the hype fell flat, and the so-called centerpiece was trending for a viral block instead of a statement win.
L for loss? Maybe? I don't know. I mean, so many people were happy. Reese report, so happy. You made so many people happy tonight. You made so many people that squeezed in just a mere 3,000 people short of selling out the arena. I mean, it was literally only 3,000 fans away from.
The gamble backfired, plain and simple. Indiana, they built something real. Their foundation isn't propped up by hashtags or slogans. It's built on players who show up night after night, no matter the adversity. Clark might be the headline grabber, but she's never been marketed as the only thing holding the Fever together. Instead, she enhances a team that already had grit, balance, and an identity fans can actually trust. Meanwhile, Chicago's approach has left them exposed. Every loss chips away at the winner label slapped on Reese.
She made the All-Star game. She said, that's it. I've done what I had to do. I don't need to stick around for all this losing. She's been saying her back hurts. Nobody knows anything about the injury. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So we start calling it out. Hey, are you quitting again? It appears you're quitting again just because your team not good. Just like rookie year, once you realize you stood no chance to win rookie of the year, you quit. You're quitting unrivaled. It looked like.
And every vague soundbite about learning about herself makes the disconnect grow wider. It doesn't matter if she drops 19-7 when fans walk away feeling duped by the narrative. In sports, image is power, but image without results collapses fast. That's why the conversation has shifted. With Indiana, people talk about progress, chemistry, and potential playoff pushes. With Chicago, the storyline is about controversy, missed opportunities, and whether the franchise tied its future to a player who might not be built for the role they sold her as. And here's the brutal truth. Fans know the difference. They know when energy is organic and when it's manufactured. They know when a team is fighting through adversity versus hiding behind slogans.
Angel comes back, Cardoso's numbers go down. If I'm Cardoso, I'm wanting out of Chicago. I'm getting the hell out of Chicago. Seriously. Brittany Sykes, Skylar Diggins. Skylar Diggins had 24 for the Storm last night, and Angel's return. So, Angel, of course, so happy to be back, and she was welcomed back by so many fans. Oh.
And right now, Indiana looks like the future, while Chicago looks like a cautionary tale in what happens when marketing gets ahead of reality. And that's where the cracks in Angel Reese's story start to look even bigger. Because at some point, it stops being about numbers and starts being about credibility. Is she really the kind of star who can lead a team, or is she just the face of a brand campaign that doesn't translate on the floor? That's the question critics are shouting louder with every Chicago loss. Reese is everywhere. Sponsorships, interviews, flashy promos. Her name trends whether she drops a bucket or not. But inside the league, players earn respect by grinding through the tough nights, by standing tall when the pressure gets ugly. And so far, the perception is that Reese hasn't proven she can carry that weight.
Component in the WNBA right now is Angel Reese and her dozens of aliases. Has anyone seen Bayou Barbie lately? Where in the hell is Double Double Barbie? Where is the me-bound clown? It has been weeks since I have heard anything about Angel Reese. She's becoming known as the Vanishing Barbie because no one can find.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is rewriting the playbook in real time. She doesn't need banners or pink slogans. Her play speaks for itself. She's pulling sellout crowds, making casual fans tune in, and sparking conversations way beyond basketball. That's the difference. Clark is building a legacy on the hardwood, while Reese is being accused of building one on Instagram. And fans notice. When you market someone as a savior, you invite scrutiny. Every absence becomes suspicious. Every quote gets dissected. Every stat line is weighed against the hype.
Angel Reese! She might have tapped out, y'all. Angel Reese may have tapped out and quit on the Chicago Sky. Everybody is speculating. What is this back injury? What's going on? Hey, are you trying to pretend like you hurt because Caitlin Clark really is hurt? Wait. What's going on?
Reese's return was supposed to be a triumphant moment. Instead, it fueled a meme cycle and raised more doubts about her ability to actually change Chicago's future. Inside the WNBA, reputation spreads fast. Teammates, coaches, and even rivals start forming their own opinions. And once that narrative sticks, that someone's more about the brand than the ball, it's almost impossible to shake. So now the burning question is this. Is Angel Reese truly the cornerstone Chicago gambled everything on?
Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit on the Chicago Sky. She's been claiming a back injury basically since the All-Star break. And there's no details. Every day we hear that Angel Reese is day to day. And every week there's no update on what she's struggling with, what she's doing. There's nothing. There's no information about Angel Reese. I think she's quit on this.
Or is she just the poster child for a franchise that sold fans a dream it couldn't deliver? At the end of the day, it's about believing in a culture that actually feels like it's growing. And when you stack Chicago against Indiana, the uncomfortable truth is impossible to ignore. Angel Reese was sold as the piece that would elevate the Sky into contention, but her return only spotlighted how little progress has actually been made. The record doesn't lie. Chicago sits at 8-26, officially eliminated from the playoffs. Yes, Reese put up efficient numbers, even snagged an all-star nod, but none of it changed the outcome. No postseason, no real momentum, just more questions than answers. Meanwhile, Indiana is thriving on balance and resilience, looking like one of the fastest rising stories in the WNBA. Teams that build together, win together.
Angel Reese declined to travel to Indianapolis, and her coach came out and said something about, she's just focused on her rehab right now, and, she's day to day. We've never had an explanation on what caused the back injury, what's a time frame for her recovery. It's similar to so-and-so's back injury. This is something she struggled with here or there. All we've heard is day-to-day, and Angel Reese has disappeared.
And right now, that looks a whole lot more like Indiana than Chicago. So here's the real question. Is Angel Reese truly the franchise cornerstone Chicago gambled on? Or has she become nothing more than a marketing mirage? Do her numbers actually translate to winning? Or is this hype train already off the tracks? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Does Reese help or hurt Chicago's future? And while you're here, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the latest breakdowns. Click the video on your screen, and we'll see you in the next one.